I think a little bit with mine, everybody kind of know. But it was a great summer. From every angle, on the court, off the court. Just being able to go out, win a gold medal with the Olympic team with my teammate, being able to resign to a place where I wanted to be, and having my second daughter.
How special was it to have? I mean, so you just have one of your teammates, but then have Kyle.
It was everything, especially Cal with everything we accomplished together. Playing an All-Star game together. Making it to the Eastern Conference Final together, and being able to compete for a gold medal together is awesome. When you think you can't do anything else to become closer to a teammate, something else happens, and the USA thing was one great thing.
Did you give him any advice on how to navigate through all the contract questions that he's going to get this year?
I mean, yeah, Cal great at that, so now I can laugh at him about it just as much as he was laughing at me about it, sending me things that was outlandish, so I get to do the same thing to him.
Is it nice to know there's not going to be people photoshopping a Lakers jersey?
Yes, I was tired of that. I was very tired of that. I remember some kids came to my house earlier in the summer with Photoshop pictures with me. I was like, this is getting out of hand. So.
Was that here in Toronto?
No, it was in L.A. It was back when the first week I was home. Some kids seen I was back and knocked on my door with a bunch of Photoshop pictures.
In all seriousness, you signed here. Unless something strange happens, you're going to be here. It would seem, you have the gold medal. It seems there's one big thing left to accomplish. How do you even start to close that gap between you and the rest of the teams and Cleveland? Where does that come from?
The motivation of knowing what it felt like being 2 games away from having an opportunity to compete for a championship, and using that motivation, going in tomorrow, first day of training camp, to understand, we at the bottom of the hill now, and we got to work our way up and take on every challenge that we're going to face, and that's the beauty of, playing sports, being a competitor, and, just facing challenges.
DeMar, last year, the barometer for success, at least externally, was pretty obvious, to win around and get further than you had the year before. This year, where are you guys setting your bar? What would be a successful season for you?
Go out there and compete. We understand starting tomorrow, we got to come together. Tomorrow is our day one of our journey. It's not going to be pretty. We may not win as many games as we did last year, but, at the end of the day, that can make us a better team going into the postseason. And that's what things we got to keep in mind. We can't get caught up in, if we have a bad stretch or, they get to comparing us to last year. Everything don't go, as planned or as promised, but as long as you understand the goal that's at the end of the road, that's all we're fighting for.
Is there any one particular aspect of your game that you think you're going to improve on over last year? Was there something that you left last season you thought, God, I need to work on this?
I mean, yeah, I've been doing it for the last 7, 8 years, and I think it'll be shown once we get out there and start playing again of me just finding out ways how to be better, how to be a better player, how to make my teammates better. So, I think without giving it away, I'll let y'all be the judge of that, as me as an individual. But, my goal this time around is really pushing my team and using the knowledge that I gained being in the league this long, being on an Olympic team, carrying that over to my team and try to make every guy, accountable and play at their highest level every time we step out there on the court.
DeMar, you had the chance, obviously, to compete this summer at the Olympics, but given the playoff run that you guys experienced, how much have you been looking forward to getting back to this moment and getting a new season started and a new chance to compete?
All summer. Even during, it's crazy even say during the Olympics, even though we was playing, practicing for the Olympic team, at the same time, I was working towards this season, understanding what I need to do to get better, working on my body, working on everything that needs to be done for me to be able to withstand another long season, to get back to the point to where we was at. And it was great to have my teammate there at the same time and being able to talk about what we need to do to be better at the same time. We competing for a gold medal.
DeMar, what does Jared Sullinger add to the mix?
So much versatility. A guy that can play down in the post, a great passer, a guy who could pick and pop, step out to the three-point line, knock down threes, give us extra spacing on the floor, a heck of a rebounder. All them elements in one is great when you have a player like Jared. So it's going to be awesome just getting him accustomed to our offense and, how we play. I think it's going to do nothing but get better.
Did you ever get a chance, because this being Olympic year, first time this team has gone to the end of May, did you get a chance to recharge your batteries a little bit?
Yeah, I took the smart approach this year, during the Olympics, before, right when I got home, just really taking care of your body, because it's physically draining, it's mentally draining at the same time. So you got to be able to understand how to balance it. A couple years ago when I did it, I was just nonstop. I felt like I couldn't stop. I didn't want to stop. This time around, I just try to manage everything I did the correct way, and so I could feel good, be healthy coming into the season.
When a player plays as long as you have now, coming through high school, college, now the Olympic team, as well as the Wayne, is there anything you picked up from Coach K and Coach Boeheim while you were hanging out with them?
Yeah, all them coaches, Thibodeau, being around all them great minds, you always catch up on little things here or there that you could apply, to yourself, where you could carry over to, your team. It's all about, talking to coaches. Even Monty Williams, played a big part in just listening to him, his approach of his mindset from being a player to a coach, how he look at the game, how he evaluates certain things. So you kind of use that as your educational form as a player, and it makes you more knowledgeable, mentally. And sometimes that's more benefiting than, gaining something on the court, just that knowledge. And, I think I learned a lot of that this time around.
DeMar, lots been made about Colin Kaepernick protesting police brutality, WNBA players protesting police brutality. Do you, your teammates, plan on taking a stand? And also, do you think it's important, as someone with notoriety, to take a stand against perceived injustice?
Yes, without a doubt, all that, and at the same time, we all, as individuals on this team, been through different things, in our lives. And, it's definitely a sensitive thing that, I think I definitely will take an approach to it, because I had a close friend of mine, a couple of weeks ago that was murdered by the police, shot 17 times. It was something I haven't spoke out about. It was more so of, just understanding what's going on in a society and how much I could help. And that's what it's all about. So most definitely, I think we will, and I will for sure.
And do you know what manner will it be, similar to Kaepernick, or you guys discussed how you might?
It's many a ways, as long as we do it, just making sure we all on one accord, and anything we do, we supporting one another, and that's what it's all about, being able to try to make a difference, and understanding everybody point of view, thought process, because like you said, everybody didn't grow up in Compton, so their point of view on something may be different from mine. So just more so having that dialogue and getting everybody together and understanding how can we help to be beneficial to, the outside world, so to speak.
Some people who grew up in Compton, living in Compton now, do you think, what's the, get to take a barometer, temperature of the situation? How do you think it is?
I mean, it's definitely tough. It's in a sense it's chaotic, because you want change to happen so quick. So much is going on, it seems, at once, and you want change to happen at the same time, where it necessarily don't work that way. It take time. It's not going to be a day, it's not going to be a week, it's not going to be a month, but it could start with each individual, and that could speed up the process, however long that may be. But it's more so of just understanding what's going on and using your minds and not so much with anger or aggression towards certain things, because that may not be the solution, you know, and just really helping people understand that part and working towards figuring whatever needs to be figured out.
DeMar, has the time that's passed between the end of the playoffs and now given you a new perspective on what you guys went through and what's needed, what has to be different this year?
Yeah. You know, you kind of get the blueprint, you know, when you understand how difficult it is. You know, last season, you know, you kind of get caught up in, you know, taking it day by day until you get put in that situation of, you know, you look up, you're in a game 7. You look up again, you're in another game 7. You know, you really understand how hard you have to play when you have an opportunity to close out a series, you know, and have that in your mind going into the playoffs, you know, give you a different perspective on how to take a 3-2 lead, you know, when you at home or you on the road, how to close it out to make sure it's not a game 7. You know, little things like that you kind of really understand more instead of somebody telling you you need to play this game 6 like it's a game 7, you know, and not wait till you're in a game 7. So things like that, just understanding that blueprint of it, you know, really gonna help us a lot.
Obviously, what happened with Kevin and Golden State was sort of the big move of the summer. Is there anything that happened in the East that really caught your attention?
Definitely a few teams that got better. Obviously, you know, DeRozan going to New York, Joakim Noah, Indiana got a lot better. You know, and it's great when you see it. You know, as a competitor, you know, you want to see things like that. You know, Boston getting Al Horford. You know, it's gonna be great. You know, that's the things that get you excited for the season and can't wait to play against them teams.